Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to our service from the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House in Springfield, Vermont. We welcome those who are zooming in locally from Springfield or elsewhere in the southeast corner of Vermont, as well as to our extended community who are joining us from afar. We are a multifaceted community, and we're glad you are with us this morning. And we're also glad we have all these people here in the sanctuary this morning. We're a covenantal community where we have promised to care for and to learn from each other. Together we seek to deepen and broaden our faith and understanding. Your joining us today will enrich our covenant and our ever-widening community. My name is Bob Ullman. I'm one of the trustees, and I'm wearing a mask, so I'm not quite so scary. If you're a guest today, we invite you to simply enjoy being with us. You're welcome to join us after the service for our virtual coffee hour discussion time. At the end of the service, there will be a time for announcements and an opportunity for guests to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good morning. It is so wonderful to be together again. Here we are in the sanctuary, and what better way to regather than with our annual flower communion. So we're delighted that you are here with us today. And for the chalice lighting, which way are you? You're over there. Okay. I'm going to share with you a few words from Norbert Capek, who is the originator of the flower communion. In the name of the source, which implants in the seed the future of the flower, and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony. Thus do we dedicate our time together. We are so glad that you are here to join us for our flower communion. Too many pieces of paper. Where did they go? Sorry. Our hymn is very, very special to us. It is Look at the Hillside. You'll recognize the tune. The words were written by our very own dear friend, Marion Stearns, who passed away. Hallie just came in the door. Yay, perfect timing. So that Hallie is Marion's daughter. So Hallie passed away a few years ago, and she wrote, Marion passed away a few years ago. Hallie's still with us. And Marion wrote beautiful, beautiful songs. She had quite a gift for songs. So let us look at the hillside together.
I just want to remind everyone, if you're on Zoom, to mute yourselves. And if you're in the sanctuary, keep your mask on. You can hum, but we still can't sing together.
Look at the hillside, look at the mountain, look at the colors, pink, blue, and gold. Look at the clover, look at the lupin, look at the buttercups, look and behold. Think of the autumn, think of the winter, think of the summer, soon to be here. But this is springtime, glorious springtime, beautiful springtime, best of the year. Each flower is special, each blossom lovely, each season needed, each has its own. So are you special, so are you lovely, so are you needed, part of the whole.
Thank you for that. That was just beautiful. Each person's special. Each person matters. How about that for an idea? I'm going to just, as I said, we're doing the annual flower communion. I'll just share with you a little bit of the story of the flower communion, which is this. So Norbert Capek, who was a Unitarian minister in Czechoslovakia, this year is the 99th anniversary of the flower communion. It was 1923 that this ceremony, which we'll do together in a little bit, was first created by Norbert Capek. And But fast forward 20 years. I'll go back in time and tell the story of how it started. But how did it end for Norbert Capek? It was in the 1940s, and he was in Czechoslovakia. The Nazis invaded Czechoslovakia, and this Unitarian minister had a radical idea. It was so wild. Just, you're not going to believe it when you hear this idea that he had. You ready? Everybody matters. That idea was so threatening to the Nazis that every person, no matter what your political party, no matter what your individual beliefs, every person matters. No matter what color your skin, every person matters. No matter whether you're in a red state or a blue state, to give a modern interpretation, everybody matters. No matter if you voted for this candidate or that candidate, everybody matters. Norbert Capek was out there, this wild, crazy idea that we are one humanity, just like we sang in that song. Each person's special. Each person has gifts to give. And when one person or one group of people is marginalized, in Capek's time, it was the Jews, people with mental illness, it was gypsies, it was gays and lesbians, it was union organizers, it was socialists, it was people who did not toe the party line of the Nazis. All the other people were threats, and they needed to be done away with. So you make the connections to our time right now. And what did they do with a person with this wild idea that we are one humanity and each person special and each person matters? Guess what they did to him? They arrested him. And they took him away, and he died in Dachau from medical experimentation. Medical experimentation. So here we are, 99 years later, tragically reliving some of the factionalism. So this flower communion is super special. It's challenging us to live that truth. Each person's special, everybody matters. We'll come back to that idea in a little bit. So thank you for listening to that intro to Norbert Capek. We are as we gather for this flower communion, this is our first time really with the door open in 2 years. We've had some little trials, some out on the lawn, and but this is our first real hybrid. Here we are together, and we want to mark the transitions that have occurred in our community since we were all together again. And there are so many transitions, we can't name them all, but Julaine has a beautiful piece of music, and Deb puts together some slides for us. So here we go. I don't know about you, but that definitely brought tears to my eyes. That was so beautiful. Thank you, Deb, for putting that together for us, and to Jelaine and the choir for doing that beautiful Thich Nhat Hanh Plum Village piece, And When I Rise. And let us hold all these dear people, these 5 people that we are no longer with us on this plane. Let's hold them dear in our hearts and know that their love continues in each of us and in all the lives that they touched. And we are so blessed to have Thomas Bjorn and Emmy, the new arrivals into our community, the constant fluctuation. That's new life. That's new life. From the flowers that are blooming today, they come from the earth, from the compost, from what has gone before. So thank you so much for that. And the other transitions that we are marking today is, as many of you know, this is the end of my time with you at the end of June. It has been one of the great, great delights and honors of my life to serve as your minister for these 8 years. Wow, it's been fabulous. There's a really special place in my heart for the Springfield Meeting House. Incredible people, incredible community, and we've done such wonderful things together. I can't even begin to express my gratitude for each of you. That I have had this honor for my whole life. This will be a highlight, that these 8 years that we have co-created community, beauty, love, harmony, art, all of it together. So thank you so much for the honor of having served you. And at the same time that I'm on my way, so is Deb. So you want to say a few words, Deb?
Well, it's been a great honor for me. Also, I want to thank everybody in the congregation who has been so wonderful to me, so supportive, and you know, it's a time of mixed feelings for sure. And I just very grateful. Thank you.
Yes, something is going on with my keypad. I cannot unmute and mute very carefully, very easily. It's not working. So somebody's picking up on that and unmuting me. So I really appreciate that, whoever's doing that behind the scenes. Wonderful. So let us continue a little bit with the story of the flower communion. Actually, let's do our affirmation first. So it has been a great honor to serve in this congregation, and a lot of the glue of who we are is really expressed in our affirmation. So I think Jelaine has that ready for us. Great. So yes, we can actually say this together. Woohoo! The first time in 2 years we get to say this together. What are we here about, folks? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the needs of all beings, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with the source of our beings. So let's continue with the story of the flower communion. I said this is the 99th anniversary. So it started in 1923. It was after World War I. So Norbert Capek was serving in Czechoslovakia, and the community has gone through this great upheaval, a lot of pain, a lot of loss, a lot of anxiety. Sound familiar? And they were trying to come back together again. So Norbert Capek, this great Unitarian minister, recognized the tensions in the community and was trying to figure out what to do about it, how to bring people together after people had kind of left the churches, were afraid to connect with each other. There was war and turmoil. And so he created this communion, which is, the idea is that each of us represents a flower. And we willingly participate in creating community. It's a choice. Because part of what he was dealing with at that time in 1923, that the churches were connected with the government and it was mandated to participate in churches. You had to pay the church fees, and and so people didn't really have a choice. And so he wanted to clear the decks and start over and say, no mandating of what people have to do. People should be able to participate freely and express their will of, yes, I want to be a part of this community. And so that's the symbolism of it, that the flower represents you and what you choose to do with your life, your beauty, your creativity. So this community, the Springfield Meeting House, is quite wonderful. And when I began working here, I was so impressed by your directory, believe it or not. Because when I first started working, this is the new version, so you'll be getting the new version soon, May 22, which lists the people who are involved, how to get in touch with each other. It lists the committees, but what really got me is the pages at the end, which are not in this copy. What happened? What happened to it? Here we go. Oh well, not only is the laptop thing doing, the printer wasn't printing right today. It's been resting for 2 years, and it's like, what, you're waking me up? I don't think so. So at the back of the directory are these words of great wisdom. And so Deb, can you put them on the screen so we can say them out loud together? So there are 2 parts: tips for conflict resolution and our framework principles. And I'm going to read the tips for conflict resolution, and Sharon is going to read our framework principles, and we can read them together. So can we start with the tips, Deb? There we go. Join me. Tips for conflict resolution. Open your mind, open your heart. Listen, listen again. Listening is more important than talking. Don't interrupt. Repeat the concern the other person has expressed. Make a statement from your own experience. Words can be weapons. Be very careful. Truth is not a show of hands. Truth may be irrelevant. Different realities mean compromise. In public controversies, everybody loses. And so the second part is our framework principles. We can read this together.
We believe that our community is about caring for each other. Courtesy and civility are fundamental in our relationships with one another in our church community and beyond. We need to listen to all voices in order to experience and honor the rich variety of opinions around us, respecting the worth and dignity of all persons is the cornerstone of our faith. We value openness even when difficult. We believe that controversy is inevitable and healthy in our community. We are guided by this principle that properly managed controversy between people can be a positive force for growth, creativity, and enrichment. We strive to focus on issues and behaviors and not on people and personalities. We tread with great care in making personal and public judgments. We work to maintain a safe, secure, and open environment which accepts diversity. We work, wait a minute, in mind, and which allows us to forgive ourselves and others. Steps for managing conflict. Disagreements and conflicts can occur between any two people within our community. For this policy, a member of the community includes members, friends, and newcomers. Staff people include, we're now calling office administrator and choir director. The minister is the duly called, settled, or interim minister. Step 1, address the issue directly. Speak to the person with whom you have a disagreement, whether a member of the community, a staff person, or the minister. If you want to sort out your thoughts before approaching the person that you have a disagreement with, be careful to select someone who will be discreet and offer you calm advice. Step 2, if you would feel more comfortable, use a mutually agreeable third party to provide a safe, neutral environment for any discussion. This means seeking the agreement of the person you have a disagreement with. The third party might be another member of the community who can remain calm and impartial, the minister, or a member of the executive committee. Step 3, if the conflict remains unresolved after you have made a direct approach or is more serious than you feel able to handle, you will need to seek additional help. A, if the conflict is with another member of the community, consult with the minister or a member of the executive committee. B, if the conflict is with a staff person, consult with the minister. C, if the conflict is with the minister, consult with a member of the executive committee or the president of the board. Step 4, if the minister, executive committee, or president of the board determines that the problem is beyond their ability to resolve, help will be sought from outside of the congregation. Our support network is the Northern New England District of the UUA. That last part has to be changed, but basically UUA. So there we have it.
Thank you, thank you,
Let's
thank
get along.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's right, Sharon, let's get along. As we, and if you're not a member of this community, this applies to all of us. It's human beings. This community is coming back together in contact with each other in person. And that's probably happening in other areas of your lives, whether in your neighborhood, your family, your workplace. Some people have been working remotely or suddenly interacting with their coworkers again. People are out and about doing things that we have not been doing much. And because we're humans, what do? We step on each other's toes. We have differences of opinion, and everything in social media is blowing it up and making everything worse. That will be my final sermon with you on June 12th about that big mess. So I won't go into it more here, but so yes, humans naturally have differences of opinion, and how do we take that difference and make it creative? So each person matters, and the specialness of each person can actually turn into synergy and make a better world, instead of turn into conflict and make polarization where people cannot even look at each other, people can't sit together, families are torn apart. How do we do this? The words that Sharon just read. And so I'm asking you to make a commitment to that. what you just heard Sharon say, what those of us in the room saw up on the screen. In your own life and in the communities that you are part of, whether it's this or some other. We need each other. We're human beings. We need each other. We need connection. We need community. And if we can't bridge those differences, we'll end up factionalized and alone and fighting. We don't want that. That's not the future. That's not the beautiful, hopeful future of justice and connection and community that we want. That's not it, is it? So it's up to us. It's up to you individually in your life to have the courage when there's a difference to hold it with love and respect, to do your best, to listen more. Try to say back when someone says to you something, see if you can say it back to them. They will know that you have heard them. You don't have to agree. You don't have to analyze it. Just, I think I heard you say that you think XYZ is going on. You personally may not believe that at all. That's not the point. Can you hear them? There's something in there. And if you could be present to that and unpack it, it might open up new information to you, new ways of being, new ways of thinking. Besides your way, it might enrich your life. So when there's a difference, be patient with it. Have the courage to speak directly. The greatest poison in any community is the behind the back stuff that people do to each other. Instead of coming directly and saying, hey, you know, when you did XYZ, I felt hurt and confused. Let's talk. Instead of doing that, that's the healthy way. The unhealthy way is to go to someone, you know, she did XYZ and I can't believe it. And what Sharon just read to us, don't talk negatively about other people. That's the poison that ruins our communities. So whoever you are, whether you're a member of this community or some other, I challenge you to behave with integrity as you re-engage. Be the presence of calm and peace and harmony in your world. Do it. The world needs you. The world needs every single one of us to be a healing presence because, as I will say more on June 12th, everything in social media and everything is all about stirring up trouble. But we're bigger than that. And a loving, calm heart wins. Over that negativity. And when you have a bunch of people who are dedicated to this way of being, a bunch of people with loving, kind, open hearts, synergy, woo! It heals the world. That's our job. Wherever you are, whether you're part of this community or not. So, back to Norbert Capek and the flower community. These are the words that he wrote back in 1923 for the flower communion. In the name of the source which implants in the seed the future of the flower and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony. In the name of the highest in whom we move and who makes the mother and the father and the brother and the sister and the lover and the loner what they are. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to haste the coming of the age of mutual respect. Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any kind of bar that estranges us from each other. Let's do it. Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any bar which estranges us from each other. In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened knowing that we are the divine family That one spirit, the spirit of love, unites us. And let us endeavor for a more perfect and a more joyful life. The words of Norbert Capek. So he was able, in that time, in 1923, to bring the community together after this great disruption through the flower communion. So let's do our own flower communion right now. And for those of you who have not done it, and if you're at home, we invited you to bring a flower with you today. And for those at home, just you will just put your flower up to your camera. And for those of us here, we will bring our flower forward if you choose. No coercion, no coercion ever in any spiritual endeavor. That is not choice, that is not respectful. So if you choose, you're welcome to come forward. There are 3 vases here. Place your flower in a vase as a symbol of your commitment to being a force of love in whatever communities you participate in. This community, your families, your neighborhoods, your homes, your work. Being a person who, by your presence, you make it better. And each, as Marian said to us in that opening song, each person's special. Everybody's different. And that's what makes it amazing. So let's do our flower communion, and we have music to go with it. And those of you in the sanctuary can come forward and place your flower, and those at home can put your flower up at the to be seen by everyone.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will burn away. I know this rose will burn its ways. 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 I know this rose will open.
And now something else is happening. Mellen, would you sit here for a moment? And I invite Anne Marie and Tina Wood and Tina Findell to come up. Not too close, but up here.
Sharon, can you?
And along with Deb up there and Julaine, we have been doing worship. Virtually every Monday morning we meet and plan services. We've been doing this with Mellen for the whole COVID time, and certainly she's been here 8 years. And we have something from our worship committee that we would like to give to you, Mellen.
Thank you so much.
Would you come up and open this?
I would be honored. Flowers. Rip it open, flowers. Yeah. You want to come up here where we can see you?
Of course.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Yeah. This was a guiding principle for us on the Worship and Music Committee. John O'Donoghue is a great Celtic, Irish Celtic writer. There's a special place in my heart for him. He's wonderful. And quite often we would begin our worship services with this, blessing our worship and arts committee meetings on almost every single Monday morning for the last 2 years. May the light of your soul bless your work with love and warmth of heart. May you see in what you do the beauty of your soul. And it goes on. It was a guiding principle for us. But hang on. You're on the same page. Oh. Tina, thank you. Sharon. Oh. Henry, thank you. Good. Julian, Ed took one home for you, and Deb, yours is here. So just a little gift. I had the same idea of this. This has been a sacred journey to create this together, and I'm really, really grateful for each and every one of you for what we have done together. If somebody told us 2+ years ago where we would be right now, we wouldn't have believed it. What we're doing.
And I want to say that it has been an honor to work with you, Mellen. I know we all feel that way. Raise your hand and shake it if you feel that way. Yes. And I know that our work with Mellen, we have learned so much from you. And as we move forward, we will carry that spirit with us. And the same with you as you go forward. Absolutely. Our connection has been very rewarding for all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wish I could find it.
Yeah. I know, but we're going to show it.
Okay. Okay.
We have something else that is not done yet.
Oh, okay.
But let's see if I can find it in here. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. It's this picture of the meeting house.
Up a little, yeah. So this is for everybody to sign. And we've gotten some signatures. Maybe you can squeeze a couple more on, and then we will frame it and give it to Mellen as well. A drawing of the meeting house. So it's from the congregation, from friends, from visitors, brand new, whoever. You're welcome to sign this.
Thank you.
A memento of our time together.
Thank you.
So I'm going to take that back and give it to Tina, but know that it's coming.
Thank you all very much.
We love you.
I love you all very much. Yeah. Yeah. I first visited this church almost exactly 8 years ago. It was in June, just as a guest in the pulpit. And when I walked in the door, I was like, wow, this place is beautiful. And our great challenge with the Worship and Music Committee online was to bring that love present on Zoom, so that when people come through the Zoom doors, they feel the same upliftment that they can feel walking through these doors. So to continue with our flower communion, the idea that Norbert Capek has is you bring forward your flower, a symbol of you, and you take home with you another flower, symbolic of someone else and how their difference enriches your life. You don't have to agree. You don't have to be the same political party. You don't have to line up in your belief systems. You line up in heart as human beings who love. So can you see our whole display here of the flower community? Those are the flowers that have been brought forward.
I think if you get rid of all those pictures.
Undo,
Let's for the moment so we can see the flowers.
undo the gallery.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. So those of you who are in the sanctuary are welcome to come forward and take a different flower from what you brought, symbolic of how you are willing to be stretched from interactions of difference with someone who may see the world, who no doubt sees the world differently than you. So come forward if you choose.
And if you didn't bring one, I brought the azaleas in the back. And another option is to go outside afterwards and the beautiful lilac bush. To make sure you go with the flower.
You know, I realized we didn't do music for this, but whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, so come forward if you would like a different flower from what you brought. Okay, so, and if you didn't get one, you can come up later and get one. So here are these words to close our flower ceremony from Norbert Capek. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these flowers, these messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversity of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May these flowers also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of the most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the effort of all of us are needed to do the holy work in this world. The words of Norbert Capek. So 99 years later, after Norbert started this, here we are. And for many of us who have been in Universalist community for a while, or Unitarian community, this is one of many, many flower communions that we have participated in. Renew your heart, dear brothers and sisters. We're getting to restart our entire lives as these 2 years come to a close and we are on the verge of yet another era. It's up to you. How you behave, how you interact, what communities are you committing to? What's the quality of presence, love, forgiveness, listening, understanding that you can bring and help heal our beautiful and broken world? Everyone matters. You're special. We need you. So what's it all about? It's about love, being vehicles of love. This is one of my favorite songs in our hymnal. So love will guide us. That's what it's about. In your times of turmoil, remember the love. That's our true guide.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us, lead the way. precious children, to the future of the world where we live. Love will guide us, peace and stride us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
I love that song. Thank you so much to Dwayne and the virtual choir for producing that for us. It is gorgeous. So let us bring our service to a close. Sharon will extinguish the chalice for us and hear these words again from Norbert Capek. In the name of the Great Spirit, which implants in the seed the future of the flower, and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony, thus do we dedicate our lives. If you have found community here, treasure it, make it better. If you have found challenge here, I hope you have, go and sit quietly with what is stirring in your heart. How can you live the challenge that Norbert Capek put in front of us? And if you have found hope here, bring it out into our broken and beautiful world that needs you. You are special. You're part of the healing that our world needs. May it be so. Blessed be.